Hey there, everybody. I'm recording this on December 23rd right now. I'm still pretty congested, but I figured I'd give it a shot to get this What If out. I did intend for there to be more animation in this, but I figured you guys would want to see the story more than animated scenes, so I'm going to do that this episode. I think possibly future episodes we can do more animation, but let me know what you guys think. Another thing, I will say that I am creating an object show of my own. It's called Warped Reality, and we need mainly Adobe Animate animators, preferably. I mean, the only requirement is no watermarks. There's also musicians, so that includes scoring and other stuff. And then background designers. If you have any questions, you can look at my most recent community post. There's a Discord link in there, and there's an email you can email. So just check that out if you're interested. Now let's get into this what if, right? Taco fell right beside Test Tube and Lightbulb, the two being incredibly surprised at her arrival.
Taco? I haven't seen you in ages.
So you're Taco.
Yes. Now, let's find a way out of here.
Taco looks around and notices for a moment where she is, and a thought crosses her mind. Maybe she could change the past. However, before she could act on those thoughts, Lightbulb once again gets carried away, and they try to head back to the present where Infinity now takes place. Excuse me, Baxter's there too, so I'll just call them the group, if I refer to them all. Seeing Salt and Pepper run Infinity made Taco livid. They were using the contestants for their own gain, which Taco saw as truly selfish. They had all the power in the world, yet only used it for their dumb fashion shows? She had to do something about it.
This cannot continue. What is this trifle?
Why not have some fun?
Lightbulb, we can't just...
But before Taco could do anything, Lightbulb was whisked away by the Infinity contestants as she was originally, leaving Taco and Test Tube alone for a moment. While Lightbulb was off having fun, Taco and Test Tube begin to discuss the challenge, and Test Tube starts to vent her frustrations with the game and specifically the predicament they found themselves in now.
We need to get out of here, but Lightbulb won't stop dilly-dallying.
As Test Tube gets back to working, Taco is shocked by what Test Tube has said, but in some ways it's actually exactly what she expected. This game tears people apart, and she has to act quickly before...
You two are so weird. Chives, you know what to do.
Chives nods and quickly ties up both Taco and Test Tube. Dragging the two to the pole, Chives ties Taco by her legs. Just to be clear, this is so that she can break free later if need be. She's just tricking them into thinking she only has legs. You know, gotta think smart. Things proceed as normal until Lightbulb arrives and starts to turn Pepper and Salt against each other. Taco joins in with Test Tube and Lightbulb, and as the two start fighting, Taco uses her arms to break her and Test Tube free, telling them that they need to get out of here.
Whoa, that was cool.
Yes, but we've got to go now.
Rightio.
Lightbulb teleports them back as she did initially, and the trio managed to get the timeline back on track, similar to the original story. When they return, Taco quickly runs off, but before she can, Test Tube asks Taco to come by the lab later that night. From here, the episode continues as normal. However, later that night, Taco enters the laboratory and Test Tube turns to greet her.
Hey Taco, as thanks for helping us earlier, I have something to give you.
Oh, you really don't have to.
Test Tube hands Taco two of the invisible bow ties, telling her to use them whenever she needs them. Test Tube had too many of them lying around anyway. Taco thanks Test Tube and leaves the lab, meeting up with Mike in their usual spot. Taco notices Knife spying on them, and she decides that she will go with Mike next episode to try and help to get him on their side. Mike, however, is unsure of this, but does agree it would be useful. When the two are inside the cave, Knife is curious about what Taco has to say. Taco is unsure of what he means as such, but Knife holds a grudge for her holding back. Knife feels that Taco doing as such hurt Pickle, not to mention how she just left afterwards, without a second trace. Taco is stunned by this and tries to explain and apologize to Knife, but he isn't having it.
You betrayed us, Taco. Why would you change?
Knife, please. I know what I did before wasn't right, but If he would just.
I'm not obligated to listen to a liar speak.
With that, Knife coldly walks away, leaving Taco and Mike alone. Taco is devastated by this. She hadn't realized her actions after the competition were taken the way they were. This also makes Mike question Taco's integrity silently. The episode would finish as it did before. Taco would help Suitcase, and her and Mike would listen to MePad and MePhone. Now, I think from here, Taco and Mike would still work together as they did before, but Mike would be a bit more suspicious. Taco would find MePad and confront him, asking him if they could use his teleportation to save Fan. MePad would agree and entered sleep mode of his own will this time to allow Taco free reign. However, before Taco has all the necessary preparations ready, Mike stumbles upon them and Mike thinks she killed MePad, very similar to the original story.
No, I didn't kill him. He's just in sleep mode.
Sure.
Just get over here. We have to save Fan.
Mike obliges and the duo head up there before Test Tube does. Kind of. When they are in the main room with the Shimmers, Taco changes her gun to stun and makes Test Tube pass out along with Fan. The reason Taco would do this is because Test Tube would still cause a scene with Mike, as there's still some drama between the two. But they needed to get out of there as soon as possible. Mike does gain immunity as she did before, and the elimination goes as planned. However, before that, Taco talks to Mike after she returned Fan.
Great job, Mike. This is just what we need. You saved Fan, and now we can.
Cut it, Taco. I'm done with your games.
What?
Knife was right about you. You're just toying with me. Just like how you did with Pickle.
Mike, no,
And hey, you were right in a way too. The competition does change us.
What?
I thought I gained a friend. But as it turns out, I gained nothing.
Mike, wait!
Taco tried to call out, but Mike wouldn't answer. Later that night, Mike eliminates herself from the game as she did originally, and Taco is left heartbroken. After Mike's elimination, Taco decides to teleport away with MePad to Hotel Pickle. Taco decides to get some shut-eye after the events that had transpired before she extracted the plans from MePad. However, when she goes to sleep, she expects to wake up next to Hotel Pickle. However, that's not what ends up being the case. Instead, she ends up waking up on a boat. And that is where we will leave off for now. I hope you all enjoyed. I'm sorry that there wasn't as much animation, and I'm sorry it took so long, but I still hope you guys enjoyed, and I'm excited to see where this goes from here. See y'all in the next one.